Welcome to the Steve Wilmot Show with the Chamonix Redskins head coach Steve Wilmot. I'm Sean Lerman. The Redskins are into the District 1 playoffs, a big win over Pennsbury this past weekend on the road at Pennsbury. And Coach, everyone talks about it. You told me that they start with New Chamonix, Pennsbury, and they build the schedule backwards from there. It's got to feel good to beat the Falcons.
Yeah, it was, like I've told pretty much anyone that's asked, I'm happiest most for the seniors. I think they really deserve that game. And it's to tell you the truth, it's nice breaking on a 3-game losing streak against Pennsbury. You don't like to have that 3-game losing streak, kind of the cloud over your head. So it's kind of nice to get that cloud from out over our head.
So let's talk about the game a little bit. Obviously, it was close the entire way through. What did you like that you saw in the offense? I know for me, at least watching the game, you've told me a couple of times, you're waiting on that big play, those big plays. Well, Will Dogba had a few of them this past week.
Yeah, Will ran hard, just like he always does. The offensive line blocked pretty good. Like I've said, and I'm becoming a broken record, but the offensive line, it's a process, and you hope by game 10, the process is far enough along that you can get into a game like Pennsbury, games like we have coming off playoff games, and you just kind of on cruise control, and all cylinders are kind of hitting. And I think all cylinders were hitting pretty well on Friday night. I think our I think the combination of Billy Ritchie and Hunter Kelly next to each other in the offensive line was good for us. I think the fullbacks, the H-backs gave us what we needed, and then I think Will did a nice job, and Mason had a couple nice runs too. So.
Yeah, Mason Jones, he's been running well all season long. Vince and I were talking before the broadcast about some of the yardage numbers and things like that, and I hadn't even realized how many rushing yards Mason Jones had piled up on the season. I knew that he was getting up there, but about 500 yards on the season now. That's been a big part of the offense.
Yeah, he's up over 500, and we knew that we had to get some running yards out of him. Kind of the pistol offense was kind of just that one guy. I mean, maybe next year we'll incorporate the fullback in our offense a little bit more, but we knew we needed to have two different guys running the ball, and even Denzel has run the ball a little bit on that speed sweep throughout the year too. So you just can't, plan on giving it to Will 40 times a game, because it's not fair to him, because that's a lot of abuse on his body. So you got to spread the ball around. And Mason is over 500 yards for the year, and Mason's fast. He's like a 4.8, 4.7 40, and and he worked real hard to get his leg strength up. So of course we'd want to give him the ball.
As far as the defensive side of the ball, obviously coming into the game, Pennsbury with the wing tee, and they run the ball a lot. Well, they did throw the ball a little bit more in the second half when they were behind, but how do you feel like the team did against their pretty good offense?
Good. Everything starts our defense starts with Harmon Yolarte, and his job was to kind of take care of the tight end, because they're just like us, they're a tight end oriented offense. So it starts with him, and then I think Dalton Fox really did a nice job this week of kind of cleaning things up from the linebacker spot, like he's supposed to. I mean, that's his job. Kyle Smith had some explosive plays in there. He had 2 sacks and forced fumble. So Kyle Smith did well. I think he was our defensive player of the week. And of course, there's just guys like Jack Spengler and the guys in the secondary who have just been playing consistent all year round. So overall, I think I'd have to say it was good. Defensive team effort. I saw Ben Stern out there making some big plays from the other linebacker spot. So overall, it was just a really good defensive team effort.
Another area where the team seemed to do really well, special teams. Dylan McDonald had a big field goal. Jack Spengler. The first punt that I saw Jack Spengler do this season was the one against Ben Salem that didn't go that far. But since then, he's been really booming the ball since he's been in his punt.
I mean, we didn't put him out there because he stinks at punting. We put him out there because in practice he showed some promise at punting. And Jack, he flipped the field a couple times for us and did a nice job. He's nice and cool back there. And the thing I like about Jack the most is when after he catches the ball, he gets rid of that ball real quick off his foot. And that's why I like having him back there. But special teams were good. We did have that one block extra point, but I guess besides that, they were pretty good too.
Yeah, and Dylan McDonald's kickoffs all season have been really good. I see a lot of high school football games, and it's got to be a nice little luxury to have a kicker that can kick the ball into the end zone when you need him to.
Yeah, Dylan's soccer season's now been over for 2 weeks, and you can really notice the last 2 weeks that his leg has gotten stronger. I think there for a while he was a little worn down, kicking so much, playing soccer every day, and kicking for football too. But yeah, right now his leg is as strong as it's been all year.
Neshaminy with a big win over Pennsbury this past Friday gets them into the District 1 playoffs. We'll talk about their first round matchup with Springford when we come back on the Steve Wilmot Show, presented by ARIA Health on WBCB1490.com.
The ARIA 3B Orthopedic Institute is redefining care in Center City and South Jersey. And our 50,000 square foot location on ARIA Health's Bucks campus in Langhorne features private rooms, free parking, and nearby hotels. With over a century of experience, the world-class 3Bs, Doctors Booth, Bartolozzi, Balderston, and their partners personally guide you from treatment through recovery. For all your orthopedic needs, call 1-888-ORTHO-3B or visit aria3bortho.org. At the ARIA 3B Orthopedic Institute, you come first.
If you are looking for a car, where do you go? Faulkner Auto Group at 4427 Street Road in Trevose is where to go for the best deals in Bucks County for all your new pre-owned cars, trucks, or SUVs. Go to Faulkner Auto Group. It's always Faulkner, to be sure. Go online to faulknerautogroup.com. Just remember, it's Faulkner, to be sure, for all your new cars or trucks. 4427 Street Road in Trevose. Faulkner, to be sure.
Hi, Merrill Reese to tell you about our good friends at the Revere Ristorante Italiano in nearby Ewing Township at 802 River Road. I can tell you that from South Philadelphia to New York's Mulberry Street, there's no better Italian cuisine than that served at the Revere. Start your meal with one of their great appetizers or salads. Entrees include outstanding veal dishes, fresh seafood daily, excellent steaks and chops, homemade pasta dishes, daily specials, and much more. You can also enjoy their bar area, where on most weekends, entertainment is offered. The Revere also does off-premise catering, and you can accommodate private parties for any affair, including business functions. Call the Revere Ristorante Italiano for more information and reservations at 609-882-6365. 882-6365. The Revere Ristorante Italiano open Monday through Friday for lunch and 7 days for dinner at 802 River Road, right off the Wilbertha Road exit on Route 29. In nearby Ewing Township.
Don't forget, if you miss any of your local high school sports action, you can read all about it in tomorrow's edition of the Trentonian. For your complete local and national news 7 days a week, it's the Trentonian, or online at thetrentonian.com. The only newspaper serving Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer County 7 days a week, it's the Trentonian.
Welcome back to the Steve Wilmot Show, presented by ARIA Health. I'm Sean Leonard with Neshaminy Redskins head coach Steve Wilmot. As Neshaminy now, they got the big win over Pennsbury, but now it's on to the next week, a matchup with Springford in the first round of the District 1 playoffs. Coach, first off, it's your first year as head coach of the team. How does it feel to make the playoffs as a first-year head coach?
It feels good. Like I said, with this group of kids, I think it would have been a disappointment not to make the playoffs. So, again, it's more about the kids than it's about me. I'm just so happy for the kids because I think this is a playoff caliber group of kids that we have here.
Well, certainly that's the case, getting into the playoffs. And now a matchup with Springford in round one, a team that hasn't lost yet this season, so you'll have a tall task ahead of you. What do you expect to see out of their base offense?
Their quarterback is the son of the Villanova offensive coordinator. And, in watching Villanova so much because of, DeAndre being there and Corey being there, it looks like they've studied a lot of the Villanova type offense. I mean, it's to me, it almost looks like it mirrors it exactly. They run a spread offense. 2 years ago when we played them, they were kind of very similar to what we were doing as far as the pistol offense, but they've seemed to go into a no huddle spread offense. A couple run pass options, so you see the quarterback put the ball there, put the ball in the running back's gut, and then if he sees a seam route coming open, he'll pull it and he'll throw it. To me, that's very dangerous, because you really got to defend the pass and the run on any given play. Their offensive line is good, and they have receivers that catch the ball and a quarterback that can run and throw. So I think their offense is very complete. Okay, they seem to be able to get the ball all over the field, and their offensive line is good.
So when a team runs a quicker offense, they go no huddle. How does that affect your ability to substitute on defense?
Um, guess the defensive line. If we sub out on the defensive line a little bit when we can. Obviously, there's a couple guys that won't come off the field, but the two inside guys, I think there is time. I mean, it's not super hurry up what they do as far as what we've seen on film. But they're no huddle, so we'll try to roll our guys a little bit and go from there.
All right, now as far as spring forward on the other side of the football, you're the offensive guy for Neshaminy, so we'll be looking at their defense quite a bit. What's their base set look like?
They run like a 4-2-5 type of set, so they run 4 linemen and they have 2 guys on the inside, and then their 5 guys on the outside will kind of adjust things depending on their coverage and depending on our formation. So they run multiple coverages. They run, sometimes they're in man, sometimes they're in cover 3, sometimes they're in cover 2. They'll switch their look right before you snap the ball. And then if we start running the ball on them, then they'll bring in their extra linemen that they have, and they'll run a 5-3 front. So very similar to kind of what North Penn did as far as putting 5 men on the line and 3 linebackers. And from there, they'll just play man behind that. So, they have some good players. Their defensive line, but they're gonna try to hem us in from the outside in and just let their linebackers kind of. We see a lot of outside blitz from them. The defensive ends kind of come in on a slant. They just want to kind of keep everything inside and not from spilling outside.
All right. Well, the Will Dogba seems that he's done a nice job running up the middle a lot this season. One of the things that I've seen out of him, he seems like he has a good ability to cut back if the hole opens up in a different spot from where maybe he initially expected.
Yeah, that's part of being a running back. If you don't do that, it's what coaches call running blind, and thank God Will doesn't run blind. He's able to kind of see things open up and make any adjustment that you need.
All right, Coach. Well, before we get going here, I'm going to do a little scouting myself because I got word, I didn't realize this about Hunter Kelly, but apparently Hunter Kelly is very, very involved in the drama side of things, and he's in chorus and everything. And I heard that he may be looking at potentially going into broadcasting.
Okay.
So how do you think Hunter Kelly would be as a broadcaster?
I think he would be very good. He's a smart fella, so he'd do his homework, and I'm sure he'd do all the researching that he would have to do before. And Hunter's been in the drama stuff ever since he was a little boy, and he's talented. I've gone to see him in the school plays before, and he does a good job.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool thing to see. Sometimes it's easy to forget that all these guys that are on the football team, a lot of them do a lot of other different things as well, and I'm sure that's something that you and the other coaches encourage fully.
Yep.
All right, Coach. Well, big matchup with Springford this week. Looking forward to it. Catch the game on 1490 AM WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. We'll go live at 6:45, live from Springford with the Trentonian pregame show. This has been the Steve Wilmot Show. I'm Sean Lerman. We'll see you on Friday.